welcome to another pick a card reading. I'm so happy to be here to read for you. Welcome or welcome back. This is Lauren with Neptune Moons, and today our pick a card is going to be how can you manage your insecurities? Gotta tell you guys, I fell into an insecurity pit on the new moon, and I think it's because all of these placements are in Aquarius, and it squares my 11th house of friendships and groups ruled by Scorpio. So my Scorpio stellium has really been feeling it. I have Saturn there, and Saturn can indicate our insecurity. So if you would like me, if you need help with your chart, I can definitely help you with that and help you with these insecurities even further. Just let me know. But for a little quick bit of advice, I'm here to pull tarot to see how we can surmount these insecurities, right? We all have them. I have insecurities that have nothing to do with Saturn, but Saturn is my most prominent insecurity, right? It's just being an outcast and a lone wolf, feeling like an oddball in friendships, and so that was really getting to me this weekend, and so I thought it would be a great pick a card to help for other insecurities that you guys might have. So without further ado, let's get on to it. We have 4 piles to choose from. We have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. You can pause if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and move on to pile number 1. 155. Gotta make sure I write down, and oh, I knew that would happen. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. Y'all don't like it when I don't leave timestamps, so doing it just for you. So let's see. What insecurities do you have? How can you manage your insecurities? So we have the rescue card. Okay. We have compass. I'm going to have to look that one up. I don't get it often, so I have a general idea. We have metamorphosis. We have abundance. We have letting go. And we have priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? So I feel like there is a situation that requires leadership, that requires you to step up. And you are in a place where you are looking for someone else to do it, for someone else to come in and assume this role, right? Assume this position to rescue the situation. But I feel like this is going to be something that is required of you. And we have some really good cards here, actually. We have this compass. From what I understand, it's like knowing you are moving in the right direction. Abundance is obviously a great card. So this could have something to do with your money. Insecurities about money. Insecurities about being able to be a leader, to be a boss. It could also be you have insecurities when it comes to your boss, meaning you have insecurities that people in positions of leadership will not like you. This could also apply to teachers. It could... We have the 7 of Wands. There's something about yourself that you are unwilling to open up about and unwilling to share. And this is repeating that message of needing to step up and take the lead, right? Needing to be that brave person to rescue the situation instead of waiting for an outside source to rescue the situation. I also want to say that this method of stepping up and taking the lead, you could have insecurities about that. You could have insecurities about, am I the right leader? What if I fail the people that are following me? I have a lot of this insecurity a lot too, which is like, I am sometimes afraid of fame because of the responsibilities that come with it. So even like being a light worker here, I want to deliver the most positive, high vibrational message as possible, so we can, get into this 5D consciousness. But I have my days where, again, I am insecure too. So you might have insecurities surrounding your place as like head honcho. Like, am I able to do this? And I do want to say with this metamorphosis card here is that you may be undergoing a transformation where you can better be a leader, but it may feel like rocky and hard to sort of wrap your mind around being in this leadership position, because you're still thinking of yourself in like these things that you don't want to share. It's like you're still thinking of yourself as this person that there's secrets about yourself that you'd rather not share, or whatever, or that you're embarrassed about, or that you're ashamed of, right? But as you go through this transformation, I kind of feel like whatever you are embarrassed about, whatever you are ashamed about, it's like that reality isn't even part of this universe anymore, because it's transforming out of this old way of being into a new way of being. So it doesn't even matter what you're insecure about, because you are essentially letting it go. You're dropping things about yourself that you once carried with you, but they're like falling away through this metamorphosis through this transformational process, right? So let me get some more cards. You may also be applying for a job that is a little out of your field. Not out of your field, excuse me. But it's like if, what do I want to say? How do I want to describe this? It's like you may have been taking entry-level position jobs, and you get a lead on a job where you can apply to be the boss, but you might have insecurities surrounding if you have enough experience to even apply for this job, to even be part of, to even be in this leadership role when you don't even know part of the industry, right? Or that side of the industry. But I want to say that every boss that assumes the role, right? So every person that applies for that job, that person might have been taking entry-level positions as well, and they don't know any more than you do, right? So your competition in the job market, if this is job related, your competition in the job market is like, you may think like you don't have enough experience to assume this role, but everyone, like, you're learning with this metamorphosis, right? You're learning, you're changing. Everyone, like, no one starts a job knowing everything, right? So it's going to be a learning curve, no matter what role you assume, no matter what position you take. You're gonna not know stuff. You're gonna like not be experienced in stuff. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't step into that leadership position, because you are transforming into the type of person that is perfect for this position, that is perfect for this leadership role. This could also be, self-employment, being your own boss, starting your own business. I do feel like this pile is work related, because we do have the abundance here. So it does feel like money, but it feels like the insecurity is surrounding experience, or the insecurity is surrounding not being like skilled enough for higher positions, right? Also, I want to say that with this rescue card, it's like again, you're expecting someone else to step in and take on that leadership role. But I feel like there will be something, if you let someone else take that leadership role, I feel like there will be some knowing that deep down you actually do have the potential, you actually do know the right direction to go, X, Y, and Z, to go these places. But you let your insecurities overrule that um, that transition to that new job. Also, so I do feel like this. Sorry, I do feel like this is a job, money, career related um, pile, and I want to say that your insecurities might be holding you back from applying for certain jobs that you're actually pretty qualified for. And I want to be as truthful as possible, but you can sort of fluff your resume up. There might even be things in your resume or things in your past that you forget to put on your resume because of these insecurities, because you think like sometimes we can forget our own accomplishments and our own achievements and our own skill set because we get so like used to it that we forget how much it took to actually get there, that we were actually, you know, a baby whenever we started out, and then we built that skill set and now we're an expert in it. But we might even forget, like, there was once a time when I didn't know how to do this certain skill, and now I'm an expert in it. So I feel like for some of you, there are things on your resume that you could put that you are forgetting about yourself, for one, that you're not showing employers. So have a little more pride in what you've done. And there might be skill sets that you picked up on other types of jobs from other industries that still apply to this industry. Some of you may be moving from one industry to another, right? So something you feel like you've never done before, but actually, when you look at your skill set, it's like it still applies to the same job, right? I don't like to spend a whole lot of time talking about myself, but one example that I'm being called to share with you right now is how many times I switched my majors. So whenever I was 18 years old, I thought I wanted to be a rock journalist. And then I realized that when it comes to journalism, I'm actually kind of too imaginative for a nonfiction style type of writing. So I went into English. I went from communications to English. I thought, well, I'll just write books. And it was nice because as an English major, you got to read a lot of books. But then I realized, you know what? I always made movies, always wanted to make movies, and I've always felt called to do that. So instead of books, how about I write screenplays? So then I switched from, sorry about my dog. So then I switched from English to screenwriting. And then basically because I switched so many schools and so many times, actually, that's not true. So after I went from English, I switched to film and video, but film and video was a little more technical than what I actually wanted to do. So I actually wanted to be sorry guys, my dog. I went into film and video, but film and video turned out to be more technical than I wanted to do. I wanted more of the creative side. So after film and video, I switched to screenwriting. And then because I switched so many times and because I switched so many majors and I switched so many schools, I ended up getting like a creative studies degree. Anyway, I know that was a lot of talk for telling you that those are seemingly unrelated things. So it's seemingly unrelated that I switched from communications to English to film and video to screenwriting. But whenever you step back at it and look at it from a bird's eye perspective, all of those things were about telling stories. All of those things were about spreading words to an audience, right? So they were seemingly unrelated, but they actually turned out to be related. So I know that was a long way of saying there's something in your past that you did as a job that can actually benefit you as a skill set for this higher position that you're applying for. And so any insecurities of being inexperienced, it's like you actually have the experience but in a different field. I think that's a strong message for some of you. Let's get to the other cards because I have rambled. Okay, so we have the Hermit here. Got a message for that. We have the Nine of Wands reversed. And we have the High Priestess. Some of you might want to become tarot readers, astrologers, spiritualists. You might want to have your own YouTube channel. And I'm not taking those. And that, you know, there might be some insecurity surrounding that too, right? I mean, you might... with this Hermit card, he is shunning this beautiful, abundant fruit basket, right? So you might be shunning like the materialism, the materialistic world of, you know, all the perks and benefits that you got in the corporate world and want to move to something more meaningful. But there can definitely be insecurities when you're moving from something like a corporate environment into spiritualism. And it's interesting too. Look, guys. Priestess, High Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Oh my gosh, guys. If you are interested in starting your channel, starting a YouTube channel, or just starting to read tarot, whatever the case may be, or, you know, get into this spiritual business. I feel like you have quite the potential to be a leader in the lightworker community, meaning you have a voice that needs to be shared, that can really help people transcend issues in a spiritual way. Right? So that's just a green light confirmation if you were worried about that. And it's the same thing that I have been talking about, right? You could have insecurities that you're inexperienced and that you don't know enough. But honestly, y'all should have seen my first videos on this channel, my first like tarot videos on this channel. It takes a while and I'm always learning. So you just have to keep that in mind. Like if you don't know what a card means, and I've had these cards forever, but I'm still gonna have to look up meanings for you, right? So don't get too bogged down about not sharing your gifts, not sharing your skills, not sharing, you know, another thing about being a light worker is we go through these experiences that are hard, and I think it's because we need to develop some compassion for those who we're reading for, right? So small little instance, sorry I keep talking about myself, but small little instance is I never experienced like heavy sexual harassment until these last couple years. But I feel like that experience gave me an ability to help people who have been through the same thing, right? So so anyway, the pain that you take on, where was I going with this? I don't know. With this metamorphosis, you might have actually went through a recent, what do they call it? I call it ascension because I feel like we're always ascending, but people will, the awakening, your spiritual awakening. So this might be your first time. It might be, you know, several times that you have experienced this. Point being is I feel like we go through multiple spiritual awakenings and we're always ascending. Might be like one major trigger. For me, I think it was the Mayan prophecies in 2012 when we thought the world was I didn't think the world was going to end. But I had been studying the Mayans for a while. My mom and my grandma are very new agey. And so I wasn't like foreign to these concepts, but I'm sharing so much with you guys about myself, and it's supposed to be you guys, so I need to stop. Get on to it. Anyway, what I'm saying is stop. Is you might be insecure about opening up about opening up this dog. Oh, sorry guys. Go. You might be insecure about opening up to like this spiritual awakening might have triggered some things you had been hiding, so you might be insecure about expressing those things that you had kept hidden for so long. But expressing those things that you've kept hidden for so long is a way of sharing your gift, and this might be a shadow aspect of yourself that you're just not comfortable sharing with everyone. But the thing with light work is we have to go down into the shadows and shine light on the shadows, right? So it does often bring up a lot of triggers and trauma and stuff like that. That could be part of your insecurity too, is that with this spiritual awakening, it's scary to face this shadow. And so you might feel like, I need someone to rescue me. But actually, this is part of that initiation into leading in a light worker space. If you are not wanting to be a light worker, then, and you're still worried about starting your own business, regardless of if you want to go into the light worker industry or not. I feel like some of your insecurities might be that you have to work so hard with the 9 of Wands. This is a lot of work, right? It's like a heavy door, a heavy weight on himself. And also with this Hermit, this is kind of a miserly energy, right? Because he's turning away all of this abundance. So you might feel like, this industry is just too much work for not enough payoff. But I do feel like if you get into the mindset of, being one of these powerful leaders, then you'll be able to surmount these insecurities of not knowing enough, not being experienced enough, not being ready for this, not having enough money to start your own business. I also feel like with this letting go card, you might have to spend, if you are want to start your own business, you might have to spend some to gain some, right? Make money to make money, or spend money to make money. So you might have to invest in courses to learn, different tarot cards. I don't know. What else? LLCs, stuff like that. Facebook ads, all those business costs. So I'm going to read Compass from the book. Like I said, I have had this for so long, and some cards just don't come up as often, so I don't have them like in my brain. But I know the general idea is going in the right direction, but let's see what the book says. It says, hold up. This actually says, as long as you orient your compass to true north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. So some of you might have a north node. You want to check your north node. And like I said, Saturn is our insecurity, so you can check Saturn too. But our north node is the direction we're going. You could have a north node in Scorpio if you resonate with this light worker energy. Actually, any water placement, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But Scorpio is like the witchy woman. Psychic, Cancer and Pisces are psychic too. But I digress. You don't have to be those signs. Anyway, this is a Pisces card, by the way. Virgo. Let's continue. You're entering uncharted territories right now and can expect wonderful new experiences. To stay on the highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or higher power can serve this function. Money, property, prestige, performance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. They are simply things you may experience along the journey. Know that Spirit is working in your life, so even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easy to find your way. Have faith and trust, for your compass with Spirit as true north will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on a starless night when all seems dark. So, yeah, look into your North Node. This is saying that, like, it was saying that there's no guarantee of money. I say with this abundance, I feel like it will come. You might have to pinch your pennies for a while, right? Do some savings and watch where you spend, but eventually with enough practice, this could be a very abundant profession for you, or a very abundant choice for you if you step into a position of leadership. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. This is the money is like a small fraction of what you will gain from stepping into this leadership role and sort of rescuing yourself or rescuing others rather than waiting for a rescuer. And this is sort of confidence in your abilities, in your gifts, in your skills and experiences to break out of your box and try new things. But I feel like you can never grow those experience. Like, you're insecure about being inexperienced, but you can never work on those skills and build your experience unless you jump in and take the lead in some way, right? So I hope that made sense. I know I was all over the place. Sorry, I talked about myself a lot, but I really do love you guys, and give me a big thumbs up. Help my insecurities. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below. I love you. Bye. $27.27, pile number 2. How can you manage your insecurities? So we have details, reversed. We have Dragon's Lair. Ooh. We have clarity, positive thinking, trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So let's see. I feel instantly like with Dragon's Lair talks about a scary situation. It's like it's scary. But with Dragon's Lair upright, this talks about how yes, there are things that are scary in this lifetime. There are things that there are like genuine risks in our lives, right? Genuine things to be fearful of. And the Dragon's Lair upright tells us to push past those fears, because what's on the other side of that fear is an adventure, right? So when we talk about Dragon's Lair, this is about fearing dragons, right? Fearing dragons, but you need to rescue the princess at the top of the castle. So you have to get control of your fear of that dragon so you can rescue the princess, right? So this is just saying that there's not ever going to be an absence of fear, but rather than think about it, because we're talking about positive thinking here, rather than thinking about it in a way that's like, this dragon's going to breathe fire all over me, thinking about it in a way that's like, I can rescue this princess at the top of the tower. I just got to be smart about it, right? And I understand the risks of this dragon in the castle, but if I just left the princess there, then I would never have that reward, right? And I think the biggest fear surrounding this Dragon's Lair, whatever it is is that you don't have enough details, that you don't know what is in this castle, what is in this lair, what does the dragon look like? How can I be faster than the dragon? Can I be more swift than the dragon? Can I, ride the dragon? So there's just so little that you don't know. With this clarity, it's like you are searching for clarity, you want clarity, and it's like the insecurities from not having all the information. And so it's like your imagination sort of runs wild. We have two cards here about sort of the headspace, right? This clarity and positive thinking. And so it's like your mind can sometimes invent these wild stories where it's like, you know, Little Shop of Horror plants grow from your head, right? And eat your arm or something instead of just, I mean, I know like this is weird in general, but instead of like beautiful flowers, right? So I just feel like you have a way with imagining things that will never happen and never take place, and it's not going to be as bad as you think it is. We have the Six of Swords right here. This is reversed, so this could be something that you keep trying to avoid. It could be a conflict that never got resolved, and it's like someone put their foot down, but the conversation wasn't finished. Someone set a boundary, but it's like the boundary didn't solve anything because there was something that you sort of needed to go back into this scary place to pull out before you could say, nope, not going back in there again, bye. Your imagination, I feel like, is creating these wild scenarios that give way to your insecurities, right? And so you get even more insecure after thinking about like the worst case scenarios possible, that you don't go into the dragon's lair at all. You don't explore at all. And this could really be a number of things. It could be, in love, saving the princess from the tower. Could be asking that person out, even though it's scary, thinking like, this dragon's going to reject me. Their friends are going to laugh at me. I don't know. But I feel like whatever is circulating through your head, it's from a lack of details. It's from a lack of information, a lack of true understanding about this situation. And you might have someone who is withholding information from you, but and that's not right. But you don't need to create these wild stories on top of someone withholding that information from you. Get what I'm saying? So let's see, how can you manage your insecurities? I also want to say with this trust the niggle is that you are going to have to accept the fact that you're not going to have all the information. Anything that you're insecure about, you're not going to have all the information. Life is a mystery, and you might be annoyed now thinking like, I came here for an answer and I'm still in the dark. I'm still like, this is still a mystery to me. But sometimes you have to embrace the mystery of life, embrace the not knowing to win that, to slay that dragon, to win that princess, right? We have the Two of Cups here. So for a lot of you, this could be about a relationship, about a love interest, anything like that. I'm not really picking up on anyone else's vibes in particular. I feel like this is an insecurity that has happened. For a lot of these piles, my intention was sort of like a recurring insecurity, right? So this is probably an insecurity that has happened over and over again when it comes to your love life. And it's not having a firm understanding on where the relationship is going, what they want, what did she mean when she did this? What did he mean when he did that? And inventing a lot of scenarios that just are not realistic. They lack that clarity. But with the trust the niggle, like I was saying, the fact that a lot of mysteries, and that's kind of awesome, actually, because a surprise is always around the corner, right? Instead of, um, you know, scouring the bottom for the last detail of, like, you know, when was the last time he checked your Facebook page, or, you know, how many girls' posts did he like, right? Getting that information, just like scouring every, getting too, like, invested in getting the information that you sort of lose why you wanted to save the princess in the first place, right? So rather than like the goal being love, the goal eventually becomes something like, I want to find out dirt on this person, right? So you have to surrender to the mystery. And with Trust the Niggle, it's like your intuition is going to serve as an antenna to lead you to the princess, right? And you have to trust that your intuition is not going to lead you to this dragon, right? You have to trust that even if you do encounter the dragon, that you're going to slay that bitch. Sorry for the cussing, but it required it. Slay, queen, slay. But the niggle is trusting your feelings rather than trusting the information, right? And that can also be hard in love relationships, right? Someone can say, I don't love you, and then you can feel it energetically, like, yes, you do. Yes, you do love me. I feel it. So I feel like in this case, you might be over, like, using your logic too heavily when it requires feeling your way through it, right? Feeling these niggles, feeling these tugs to move in this direction or that. Let's say, trust the niggle. Let's say that you get a feeling that you need to call them, but when you dig into the logical side of this situation, you say, well, we haven't talked in X years, and I don't even know what to say. What are the words to say? I don't know what to say. I need, like, a script. I need something, right? You don't need anything. You just need to trust the guidance of your higher self, your intuition, right? And just let that sort of lead you through this journey, knowing that you will get that princess, you will slay that dragon, and you might not know every single detail about the situation, but you can unwrap this mystery. And you know, for all of the scenarios that you are imagining that could go wrong, there is a parallel reality where you get your heart's desire, where you get, like, this grand story, right? Slaying a dragon and getting the princess, that is a big story, right? That is a big accomplishment. That is something you can be proud of, something you can have confidence in, something that's in your wildest dreams, right? Something you might have dreamt about since you were a kid. But if you bog yourself down in how to get there, how to, you know, researching how to slay that dragon, researching how to, the floor plan of the dragon's lair, how to get to the princess, I think that's what's going to trip you up, because they're... it's like with facts and information, like cold hard facts, we can see cold hard facts, we can interpret them in a way that reaffirms our cognitive bias, right? So it's like two people can see the same fact. One person can say something like, can see that, let me think of something. But, like, income inequality is bad. And then another person can see the same fact and think something like, well, when you pick yourself up by the bootstraps, then you can achieve a lot of great things, right? So one fact can mean different things to different people. That's why I say whenever you're in a debate, whenever you're in an argument, facts aren't actually that great. Oh man, people will say that anecdotes are meaningless and stupid, but I actually get more understanding from anecdotes than I ever did from, this cold fact that can, one, be changed with, you know, from this data to the next. So it depends on how the data is collected, how, like, the questions are asked, culture changes, all sorts of things, right? So when we look at facts and statistics and all of this information that we're talking about, all of these details, details are helpful, but I feel like they can only go so far, and you can definitely spin your own emotional projection onto that fact, regardless of the fact, right? But when you trust the niggle, when you are guided by your feelings, not in a over the top sort of way, right? But when you just like sink into your higher self, sink into your intuition, then you'll be guided in the right direction to where the facts that used to bog you down, like you, you're less likely to be caught in a tailspin of your thoughts over how you actually feel, right? I hope I'm making sense to you guys. We also have the Knight of Pentacles, just reiterates like slow to start, not wanting to start, being afraid to take the first step, might be moving super slow because you do want to get all the information. These are strong Virgo energies to me. The Knight of Pentacles isn't always Virgo to me, but because with this details card, it's a Virgo-y card. You could be Virgo, don't have to be. We also have the Five of Wands reversed. So there could be, there could be an insecurity about competition. You could, I'm feeling like you might be getting your information from men or women who are in your competitive atmosphere. What does that mean? That means that if you are single and getting your advice from single friends, on some level, your friends might be sort of competing with you behind the scenes. For some of you, it could be for the same person. For others of you, it could just be like, who can land a man first? Who can get a girl first, right? And you might be listening to advice from friends who are giving the wrong advice, right? You keep getting like all of these details, but it's clouding your thinking on how to handle this particular relationship, right? So these friends may be like smart, intelligent, great people otherwise, but they may give terrible dating advice. You just gotta call it like it is, right? So rather than trusting your logic by listening to them, I feel like there is a need to sort of trust your gut, trust your intuition, trust your feelings of them in the matter, and also understand that fear does not mean no. Fear does not mean do not enter. Fear does not mean stop, don't do it. Fear means you have an opportunity to surmount that fear and get what your heart desires, right? And you may be surrounded with friends who want to sort of take the easy way out by saying, if he doesn't call you every day, then he don't love you, girl, dump him. Or, whatever the dating advice is. I get annoyed by all of it. But this is something that you can't sort of have a checklist about, right? Like, well, I don't know. Uh, yeah, it could be anything, but I feel like there might be some critical friends around you who it seems like they're giving you advice, but it might be like, at least on a subconscious level, they might not consciously be doing this, but at least on a subconscious level, I feel like there is an element of competition with these friends who are giving you advice, meaning, and it can be like, it doesn't have to be, like I said, competing over the same guy, although for some of you it will be. It doesn't have to be competing for a guy, although for some of you it will be. It could even be like competing to have that street cred of "I told you so," right? Your friends just want to be right. Like, I was right about that guy. But I feel like on a deeper level, you have an understanding that they don't, right? Because you have that feeling that they don't. And you are in a relationship that they are not in, right? So you understand it better than they actually do. Seeing this situation in a rational way is actually blocking you from the things that you want the most. What you'll have to do is see it through an emotional way and push through the emotions that, do not enter. See this fear as a thrilling, exciting, exhilarating opportunity, right? Thrilling adventure, exciting surprises around the corner, right? So whenever we shift our mindset to that, then we can embrace that mystery. We can embrace not having all the details because it's like, if I had all the details, it wouldn't be as much of an adventure, right? If I had all the details, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't have all these surprises. I wouldn't find all these surprises. So how you can surmount your insecurity is to lean more into your feelings and embrace the adventure, man. I hope that made sense to you. I love you guys very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. That helps my insecurities. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. I love you. Bye. Okay, pile number 3, 47, 47. 47, 7. On the 747. Okay, we have Talisman. We have Cleaning House reversed. Follow the leader. Another leadership. Pile number 1 had a lot of leadership vibes. If you felt called to that one, you might choose 2 piles. It's okay to choose 2 piles. Choosing 3 piles in a 4 pile reading, a little risky, but you do you, boo. Patience and joy. We also have trust your path. We have a pathway here too. And a pathway here. Trust your path. If you knew you would be supported, what would you do? So let me see. I'm going to have to read Talisman. I told another group that I have had this deck for years and years, and some cards, like, I don't get as often, so I forget what they mean. So, hold on. Okay, so with Patience and the 4 of Swords, there is something you have to wait on. We have the Emperor. You could be a boss or wanting to start your own business, your own empire. This is also the Divine Masculine, Big Papa. This could be your husband, your boo. It could be your father. A strong son would be like a grown son. We also have the Hermit reversed. I like you up there. I'll keep you. I feel like there might be a journey that is calling you that you don't want to take alone. There are things in your immediate environment, in your actual house, that are cluttered and taking up space. And as you clear out your house, you are going to clear your mind, right? I also think for some of you, your insecurities could be homemaker situations with this clean house. Yeah, your insecurities could be that your house is dirty. I know that's crazy, but like I do it too. Like when someone comes over, it's like, sorry, the house is a mess, when usually it's not that messy. But you could actually have like problems with a messy house or whatever. It doesn't mean that you are morally bankrupt, by the way. It does not mean that you are any less of a person if you have a messy house, guys. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. You know, this is something to work on for your ultimate health. But if someone wants to give you a hard time about a messy house, screw them. Screw them. Do they know your life? Do they know what you're going through? No. For some of you, I feel like for some of you, you might have got dumped or like recently had a divorce. This is coming through. Yeah, right as I was saying it, we have the Three of Swords reversed. And I was even feeling like it feels like a divorce or a breakup, but like you aren't sad about it anymore, but there are residual insecurities from the past relationship that you have that are haunting you now. But it's like you might be over this person, but the insecurities are still there. And I think the insecurities might be with your housekeeping skills. It could be from a husband that didn't think that you kept the house tidy enough, because you might have, to be honest, what I'm saying, you might have watched a lot of TV rather than clean up. But like, you're human. But I feel like this insecurity is like, you might feel like you're too lazy, and that other relationships would show you the same criticism. And I also want to say that for some of you, you might have insecurities about doing all this alone, right? Like keeping the house by yourself, because we do have the Hermit reversed here. And you know, the Talisman is about a new journey. The Talisman is about you have basically everything in this talisman that you need on your journey, right? But the Hermit card is also a journey as well. But it's like, and they're a solitary journey. They both have like a lantern talisman with them, right? Lantern talisman. But with the Hermit reversed, Virgo energy, by the way, this is Aries energy. With the Hermit reversed, it's like some of you might not be able to even conceive of a life without a partner, right? It's like maybe you got married young, maybe you always had a boyfriend in high school, you got married young, and then now it's like, I'm alone, I have never been single, I don't know how to do this. If you don't resonate with the energy of being criticized by a man about your house, then this could just be that there are things in your life that you're just used to doing with a partner that you have no idea how to do now, right? There are decisions that you are avoiding, I think, because you feel like you will make the wrong decision, and this is that residual energy from past relationships. If this isn't talking about a love relationship, anyone could have planted this seed in your head. But I feel like this group's insecurity is more about messiness, unkemptness, like messing things up. If it's not a messy house, it's just there is someone who got into your head about you always messing stuff up. And so it's like you're afraid to make choices now because it's like, I'm going to mess it up. And You might really fall into entertainment, right? It's like when someone criticizes you, would drink a bottle of scotch. So you go to the movies to like unwind, right? And the aspect to this together, like being messy, being messed up. And with the Hierophant and the Emperor here, this could be someone you broke up with. This could be someone you are divorced from. But this could be also just be your husband, partner, a masculine figure that's in your life now, right? That is sort of continuing these insecurities. And they might not be doing this in like an abusive way, guys. I feel like for most of you, the partner isn't like I'm not feeling toxic energy from this. What I am feeling is like little criticisms that add up, that like poke at your insecurities. So little criticisms that trigger, right? So things they were right about, but it triggers your insecurities. You might have Saturn in the 6th house. I can help you with that, but if not, let me just continue. So the insecurity is messing up being messy, right? And there is an avoidant behavior, looking at entertainment, which keeps you in a comparison trap. And with Trust Your Path, Follow the Leader, and Talisman, there's 3 roads here. So I feel like in this comparison trap of watching other people have their life together, Pile 2 had weird advice stuff too, but I feel like you are trying to get advice from people who don't actually have it all together, one, because that's just like the pretty life that they show on screen. But also, it's like you're meant to carve your own path, baby. You're meant to lead your own way. Talisman is, charting your own path. This is Trust Your Path. So there might be a whole entirely different solution to this mess that is going to unlock it for you. But at the same time, just don't stress about having a messy house. It says 4 of Swords and patience. So I just feel like have more patience with yourself. Like, who cares if it's a messy house? Who cares if you're a mess, right? It's like spice of life, flavor of life. You are someone else's entertainment, right? From all your mess. I do want to read this Follow the Leader, just because, actually, I wanted to do that with Talisman. No. Let's do Follow the Leader. We won't do Talisman. I pretty much said what I needed to say. You're being called to lead others by example. Your wisdom has been earned as a result of your bravery in the adventure of your life. The experiences of battles won and lost, places discovered, tears shed, and joy revealed have placed you in a unique position to be of service to others. Yes! So, you are messy, right? But your messiness has given you all of these experiences to lead others. I love that. So it's like, who cares if you messed up? Who cares? Like, messing up was the only way you were going to learn how to lead people out of their own mess, right? I love it. Especially with this Hierophant card, you could, like, teach others where to go. You might get in this comparison trap, watching others' productivity or whatever, master their life, live their best life, but not even realize, like, you are the leader, man. You are the one meant to lead people out of their messy lives, and you would never have known how if you hadn't have lived that messy life, right? So don't let this person trigger your insecurities. I also want to say that I feel like there can be a joyful discussion about this if you still are with this partner. I feel like there could be a sweet, fun conversation about this where you talk about if this is like a messy household, or even like you being a hot mess of a person or whatever, right? It's like you can talk about about having them sort of ease up, pump the brakes on the situation, because a clean house does not make you any better than anyone else. It does help with your mental clarity, right? To sort of compartmentalize your feelings and zero out your brain and all of that. But it doesn't mean that you're a horrible mom, or, you know, man is never going to love you because you keep a messy house. And I feel like there is a lot of trust on others to sort of, you know, that Oprah woman, I'm going to mispronounce her name, I'm sorry, Iyanla, fix my life. So I feel like you are looking for another person to fix this situation, to help you with cleaning, to, you know, help you with your hot messiness of a personality. But you are actually I feel like you're looking for like outside authority to tell you something that you know within, right? You have to sort of be your own authority, right? And that could help you surmount this messy house challenge, right? Is to be your own boss, meaning somehow incentivizing a way to take a day off and clean that house, right? Having a punishment and reward, that's very like boss energy. This could also be in a workplace, having like a messy workspace, or like, again, just being a hot mess of a person. But I feel like your place in life is very individualistic. It's very unique, and it's not a path that you can really expect others to walk down. And you might be messy because you're a freaking genius, right? You might be messy because there's just so much up in your head that you're meant to lead others with that you can't be bothered by a messy sink. I'm not saying don't wash your dishes, but just like, you're human. It's okay to have like a messy living room. Don't beat yourself up about it. I hope that was helpful. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to help me with my insecurities. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. I love you. Bye. Okay. Pile number 4, last but not least, how can you manage your insecurities? So we have making a choice, and we have heal the ouch. We have nature, manifestation, and yes. Just say yes. Jabria, are you smart? Yes! Okay, sorry guys. So we have the 4 of Swords that came out in the last pile. I don't feel a connection to this pile on the next, in the last pile, but if you chose that one, you are free to choose it. So immediately we have making a choice in reverse and yes. So if you're looking for an answer, the answer is yes. And let's see, we have heal the ouch and this 4 of Swords go together. So you may have had a setback that put you in a vulnerable position. This could be a health situation, meaning you could have been diagnosed with cancer and you were healthy your whole life, right? And so now you are insecure about your, what's the word? Your sort of fitness as a person, right? How you can contribute to relationships. Will you always have to be taken care of? Number 38 might be significant to you. You might feel like too wounded, even if it's not a physical ailment like, you know, you caught COVID or you went into a coma or any number of things. If it's not a physical ailment, this could be like some emotional trauma that you are healing from, and you may be embarrassed by it, right? You may be embarrassed because you might have always been the tough one, and so it's hard to be the weak one and have others take care of you, right? With this nature, I can definitely feel, you know, this could just be something that is an active nature that you had no control over, right? Whether that is physical or any sort of mental illness. We have manifestation, so I want you to be mindful at this time that sometimes when we have very intense emotions, we can manifest things that are not good in our lives. Especially, it's important to know the connection between our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical bodies, right? There are psychosomatic words, Lauren. Psychosomatic experiences where we have manifested. Give you an example. I spent so long on the first file talking about myself, but I do want to give one example. So when I broke up with my twin flame, or when my twin flame and I broke up, I guess it was mutual, but you know, I was super sad, and it was around Christmas time, and there were other things in my life that were just like disaster country song. This was like a few years ago, so I'm over it now. But whenever my twin flame and I broke up, I developed this cyst on my torso. It's like on my rib cage. And it got so big, I had to like wheel myself to the hospital and, you know, take care of it. They said I could have almost died. But I feel like I had manifested that cyst in that the emotional pain that I felt from the breakup caused the cyst to happen. That's not to make anyone feel guilty about breakups. I'm just saying, like, I was sad, y'all. I think it like came to the surface in the form of a cyst. Yeah, so things I needed to purge out of myself. We have the Four of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. So you might have, what is this Queen of Pentacles about? The Queen of Pentacles is a card about self-worth. So we're talking about insecurities here, and this is like Queen of Security, right? You might have been someone, I'm not going to take these, but I won't take those either. You might have been someone who had a very healthy sense of self-worth before this situation took place, before you became ill, right? And so your insecurities are a result of not being through this experience, not having this experience yet, right? Being new to this experience. And, you know, also with this making a choice, yes, it could be pointing to yes, but also with this making a choice reversed, you may be put in a position where others have to make your choices for you, and that might be hard to take, right? Having always been in this sort of secure position. Let's get two more cards. Let's see what this is about. Some of you could definitely have a fear of making the wrong choice, but I feel like this is more like newfound a newfound vulnerability that you're not used to, where other people have to make your choices. I feel like for the majority of you, that's what this is talking about. We have the Prince of Pentacles reversed. So first up, Max, Mark, or Mac. That name might be important to you. But the Prince of Pentacles reversed, this is telling me insecurities surrounding not having something to offer. So you could be in a position where your physical health has taken a dip and you feel like, well, what else do I have to offer, right? And we have the Hermit reversed, Virgo energy. Name, Calvin, Matesh, and Freddie. Those names don't have to be... you don't have to resonate with those names, but if you do, I love when it does resonate. So what am I seeing? I feel like how to manage your insecurities is an acceptance of your situation, an acceptance that you need to rest and be healed, right? Like, let others help you. And be mindful of how your insecurities are creating situations that could make your health worse or could make like your vulnerabilities even worse. I want to read Heal the Ouch. I feel like you might also feel like you can't make choices because you're in a state of limbo, having this health condition or this sort of trauma you're experiencing, whatever issue that you're healing, you may feel like you're in a state of limbo and unable to make a choice. And so you might be insecure that like your choices will pass you by, and that you won't have anyone to go on this journey with, right? So let me see. Heal the ouch. This is a time for great soothing of the heart, body, mind, and soul, as this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life now. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. So I want to say that your insecurities... this health situation, like, I feel like it might have been unexpected, right? You might have had this unexpected illness, outbreak, relapse, anything like that. But this was meant to happen to slow you down with this Four of Swords, to slow you down so that you can heal these things that you were avoiding. And it may be scary at this time to face that shadow side of ourselves with the Hermit reverse. The Hermit is someone on a vision quest, and they're going in the dead of night with this lantern, trusting God will guide them. And you may have been avoiding that in life. So it's like the universe came in and knocked you out, meaning some sort of... physical ailment, mental illness, etc., knocked you out, put you in a state of rest so that you could face this that you were avoiding, right? And it's sort of part of manifestation, but manifestation not in the way that we like, right? Not manifestation in the way that, like, we get our dream job or we get the love of our life, but manifestation of our biggest fears, right? Our insecurities coming into being. But this situation was put in your path so that you could look at those things that you had been inadvertently manifesting. Let's see. Natural capacity to restore others to wellness. However, the message may be that you're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth. Interesting. Perhaps you'll switch to a cruelty-free diet, eating less meat, or perhaps you'll pay more attention to how much water or electricity you use. You're asked to be conscious of your footprint on the sacred earth and all of life, and to commit to the healing path. The Heal the Ouch card may also be an indicator of an old wound. Yes, yes, yes. And broken bonds being mended. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. Oh, that's so sweet, guys. So if you had a reconciliation question, then that's confirmation. But you might have insecurities that your partner, wouldn't want you in this state, right? But that's part of this manifestation that you have to get through, right? That you were put in this resting position to face those dark parts of yourself and work through those things by yourself while your partner is away, so that whenever you guys reconnect, you would have healed that ouch by yourself, right? You wouldn't have put that on your partner to make that choice for you, right? So you did this all by yourself. So that you could be ready for your partner, right? It's a self-healing, so that you would be healed for this reconciliation. I also feel like, definitely we can't depend on other people to save us, to rescue us, all of this. And we can't depend on other people for our own happiness. I get that. But we do have to be honest about the energy that's added to our lives when someone we love comes into it, right? And so while I think you are on a path to healing, and not just healing, again, guys, not just healing these physical ailments, but healing deep stuff within you, deep insecurities within yourself, while you're in this state. This is why you're in this state, is to help heal those childhood traumas, those insecurities that have been around forever, right? So while you are laid out flat, resting in the physical world, you can work on yourself in the 5D world. And that is going to bring you to a higher sense of fulfillment and happiness. But also, I feel like with this reconciliation message, I feel like the reunion that some of you will experience, I'm not going to say for all of you, but if it's like confirmation, if that's what you were looking for, then yes. But it's like you will gain your own happiness through this experience, through looking at yourself. I know it might not feel like that, like this at the time, but you're getting through it. Just focus on that light, right? So it might not feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel sometimes. It might feel very heavy. It might feel very dense, very scary to look at these old wounds that you have from childhood, from old relationships, from yada, 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 right? Deep subconscious stuff. And it might seem very dark and dim, but eventually you will be able to pull yourself out of that and heal yourself and gain that sense of happiness. But I do feel like someone is going to raise the bar on that happiness, right? It's like you can get yourself to a certain place of happy, but the energy you're going to experience from the person you reconnect with is going to help heal you even more, right? So like I'm saying, I don't want you to rely on someone else for your happiness, but we can't avoid the fact that love makes us happy, right? And so I feel like you have to do it like halfway by yourself, and then there will be that partner there to help heal you too. I also feel like with nature, if you do feel like very stuck in your head, stuck in like deep spiraling tunnels of despair and doom, guys, I go there. I go there too, right? My insecurities take me to deep, dark places, so I understand. But when you're feeling yourself in a tailspin, you might want to ground yourself, go outside, hug a tree. I know that sounds silly, but it really does help. Hug a tree, run barefoot in the grass, anything you can do. As I'm recording this now, we're having a lot of snow, so I don't know. I don't know. I live in LA, so I don't know about snow. But maybe you can get yourself a houseplant. I don't know, guys. I'm just saying that nature would help whenever you feel like so bogged down in this heavy energy. Nature reminds you like there's always growth, there's always life out there, and it's free, and all of that. Managing insecurities is accepting that the stillness that you are experiencing now is an opportunity to purge out the old patterns that you're telling yourself that aren't fitting now, that aren't working, and that only cause you pain. So right now, in this place of stillness, you have the opportunity to extract all of the mental upsets you have in your head so that they don't interfere whenever you reconnect with your partner. Yeah, let me know if that resonated. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's going to help my insecurities. And if you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below. I love you. Bye.